check this thing out. We got ourselves Powermac G5. Let's take a close look. Looking at the front, starting at the top, we got ourselves a DVD RW writer. This cool little slide down thingamajigger. Going down, the front I/O ports, power button, headphone jack, USB, I'm assuming 2.0, but it could be 1.0. Firewire. Okay, we got the back of it here. Well, here's our video card. We have DVI and some Apple display adapter plug type thing. We got our little locking mechanism for our side door. Okay, we got a Wi-Fi port here for an antenna. Same thing for the Bluetooth. I think if I were to hook up antennas to these, I think they would work. We got optical audio out and in. We got our audio out, audio in, a couple USB ports, a couple firewire, and we have LAN and a freaking modem. The bottom, there's one of the side panels. Got a cool little Apple logo there, which is pretty neat. And now let's crack this thing open. And to open it up, you just flip up this little lever here. And this just slides right off like that. And there's our internals. Okay, we got a plastic airflow deflector, divider, whatever you want to say. Helps with the airflow through the case. There's essentially 3 chambers. You have a top chamber here, middle chamber, and the bottom has the power supply in it. And this just kind of plops out like that. Here's the inside of the Powermac G5 featuring dual 1.8 gigahertz G5 Power PC processors, DVD RW drive, here's our video card, fuzzies, a 0 gigabyte hard drive, fans, RAM totaling 1 gigabyte, 256 megabytes, 1 gigabyte, 256 megabytes, totaling 2.5 gigabytes of memory, which is actually more than what this system actually came with. So that is a plus. And what I'm going to do is tear this thing down, get it cleaned up, put it back together, get a hard drive in it, put an OS on it. Okay, the first thing we'll do is take out the video card and take a closer look at that. There it is. Okay, so there's the video card out. Pretty dusty. Get that cleaned up though. Alright, to remove this front plate here that covers the heat sinks, you gotta remove this little pin right here. And from what I can gather, it's extremely fragile. So what we're gonna do is try to gently pry it out of there. Can't really get underneath it to pry it out. There we go. That's what I need. That is in there, holy cow. Well, that center pin is out. Okay, so I finally got that stupid ass cover off. And really that top rivet is only like a tamper-proof type of thing. But that just kind of goes on a couple pins in here. 4 pins to be exact, and it just snaps in like that. Really had to force that thing to the back of the machine, or front. Yeah, that's the front, towards the front of the machine. So we got this plastic thing here, which I believe that just comes right out. And here's our huge ass heatsink that I'm hopefully, I want to actually remove these and get some new thermal paste onto the GPUs, or the CPUs. But it is pretty massive. This fan shroud here should come out, I believe, probably after we get the, I guess maybe not. So that just kind of lifts out of there, and we'll unhook that down there. So that's the rear fan assembly right there. There's the connector. Okay, I got the Allen screws all loosened up. There's 4 at each corner, or 1 at each corner, and there's 2 holding each one of these down through here. So I got them all loosened up, and I think I'm ready to pull it out. I believe it's just like a socketed in thing. And before I do that, I'm going to label these so I know which one's which. And we'll do T for top, B for bottom. There it goes. And for the next one, there it goes. Okay, now we can attempt to take the power supply unit out. Looking like a pretty bare system now. Alright, I'm going to clean some of this up. Okay, got it cleaned up a little bit here. And now we got a couple screws here holding this bottom plate on. And there's 1, there's 2, and feels pretty loose. Just gotta shimmy it out. I'm gonna unhook these cables here, maybe it'll come out a little better. Oh my god, it's a puzzle. Unless, oh, there we go. And there's our power supply unit with some fans in the back and some nice dust in there. So there's some screws on the bottom here. We'll get going. There's the screws, 4 screws holding the power supply in. I gotta take these posts out here. This is the smallest wrench I could find. One standoff there, and there's the other one. There we go. That lifts right out. I think we're hooked up to something, of course. God damn it. Got a connector here. One last connector. Okay, so 3 total connectors going to this thing. So there it is. And if you're wondering why I took this out, I just want to clean up the fans, make sure we have some nice, good airflow still, you know. It doesn't look too bad. That's what the back of it looks like. There's the other side with your connectors coming out. And the fan connector, I assume, is this one here. There's some dust bunnies on that. So I'll get this cleaned up and slap it back in. And just to show another reason why I wanted to open this thing up, take the PSU out, is got a nasty dust bunny in there. It is pretty freaking filthy in there, so I'm going to blow this thing out real good, hopefully with, you know, crappy compressed air, but we'll get it cleaned out as best we can. I got it blown out pretty good, vacuumed, so I'm ready to put the fans back on, but the big dust bunnies are out of there. No more little critters. So we should have some good airflow so we don't burn this thing out. Hopefully it'll last a little longer than normal. So it stays nice and cool and won't overheat. Okay, that is back on. Ready to slap her back in. And before I do that, we got some dust down in there too we'll get rid of. Okay, we're ready to put it back in. So, we'll angle it in. Simple as that. And hook everything back up again. Screw the bottom back in. Okay, now hopefully this will go in a little easier. Like a glove. Okay, bottom plate's back on. And on to the next part. Okay, I gotta put those standoffs back in yet, so do that right now. Come on, baby. Really wish I had a smaller wrench. Okay, I was gonna reapply thermal paste, but looks like this thing might be a bit of a pain in the ass to do. So if you see here, I'm assuming that the actual CPU is right in there, and I don't know what this portion is cooling. It looks like it's cooling some chips down under in there. I'm just gonna monitor the temperatures as I'm using it, and if it seems abnormally high, I'll just reapply a thermal paste in another video. There's one. And what I think I'll do is I'll put those in. And actually, if you see, I can probably put all these screws in there because these heads just go right through. Look at that dust bunny on that one. Get that out of there. So that's kind of nice that I can just set all these screws down and then set the heat sinks down and just tighten them up. So it looks like it just kind of flares them out to tighten it. So that is nifty. And the second one, I believe that's it. Now we can tighten them up. And that's it. Heat sinks are back on. CPU also along with it. Our little plastic thingamabobber here on. I'll slide this back on. Nope, not yet. We gotta put the fans back in. Okay, rear fans are back on. Now we can do this. And our G5 cover's back on. Slide this back on, our RAM is back in. Slap the video card back in. Beautiful. There we go. Alright, the only thing missing is the hard drive. And we got a few choices on that. Oopsie. All better. Okay, so we got a couple choices for solid state drives. This one's actually SATA 2. This is SATA 3, and it's also rated for SATA 2. And the actual motherboard only has like a SATA 1 controller, but apparently, from what I can gather, the SATA 2s, most of them are backwards compatible to 1. And since this is compatible with SATA 2, I'm thinking maybe that's compatible with SATA 1 also. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up both of these up at the same time, and hopefully one of them will be recognized and I can install Leopard onto either one of these. Hopefully it's this one and not this, because it'll break my heart if this one works, because I currently have Windows 98 installed on here, and it's my main Windows 98 installation. But I did make an image backup of it, tried to put on a different drive, didn't quite work, but maybe I could figure that out later if this does work. And if these don't work, we've got an old 1 GB SATA regular mechanical hard drive that we'll throw in, and maybe this one will work. And I also have a 500 GB if that one doesn't work, if this one doesn't work. So let's pop them in. Okay, we'll put the 64 GB up here. Okay, there's one. Okay, there's both the drives hooked up. Now, we're going to have a bonus video here because I have a brand new boxed version of Leopard. So we're going to do an unboxing of it. There's the bottom. Front, original retail is $129. I certainly didn't pay that much for this. There's the other side. I'm just reading this along with everybody else here. Okay, there's the other side, blank. And there's the back. Let's crack it open. Shiny. Ooh. Look at that. Install DVD. Paperwork's up here, I guess. Apple stickers. I guess for $129, I guess they should throw those in there. And Welcome to Leopard book. Pretty thick book too. That's kind of cool. And it's not even dual language or anything, or triple language. It's all English. Toss this back in here. And I guess that's it. It's our install DVD. Alright, let's get a monitor, keyboard, mouse. Okay, I heard a noise. That's not good. It's definitely not good. Shit. What did I forget? Okay, so about literally 2 to 3 hours worth of troubleshooting. I was taking the CPUs back out. I basically tore the whole thing out again. Made sure all the cables were connected. They were all connected. Made sure the power supply was actually still working, which it was. I jumped some cables, fans turned on and everything, but that power button just wasn't doing anything. And the last thing I did was take a look at the power button. Took it apart. I just tested it with a multimeter, make sure it was actually working. It was working. I was at a loss. I was just going to throw it into the closet. Took the hard drives out. And before I did that, though, I hit the power button, plugged it in. It started up. So don't ask me what was wrong. I'm assuming that it was something that had to do with the actual power button. Wasn't working right, wasn't seated right, or that cable is a little wonky that connects the front I/O. And in doing that, sadly, I broke my 64 gigabyte connector, SATA connector. So that's foobarred at the moment. So all I got is that 120 gigabyte in there. And let's boot off the CD and see if we can't install onto the 128. Okay, so I got the Leopard CD in there. Turn it back on. Alt C. For some reason it doesn't do the tone either. So I gotta figure that out too. Okay, it's accessing the CD. Ah, Apple logo, thank you! Had to skip lunch trying to fix this stupid ass thing. So at least everything's working. I'll have to see if maybe I didn't connect the speaker back up properly. I don't know. Don't really care at the moment if it makes a tone in the beginning or not. I actually broke a couple of those pins holding the power or the CPUs on, unfortunately, because this flare was too wide and I couldn't pull it out. So I accidentally broke them, 2 of them. So one of the CPUs is only held on by two screws right now, but it's pretty sturdy on there anyways. Ooh, blue screen. Oh, baby. Use English, yeah. Now we just gotta hope that our hard drive is being detected. Sure do agree. Oh no! Oh, examining. Okay, come on, come on. Shit. Sounded kind of funny. No. Shit. Okay, we gotta put the mechanical drive in, I guess. Phooey. Okay, take this out. guess that just flops around there. I have no idea. These cables, there's no slack whatsoever. I don't know if you can see, but this is actually broken too. But luckily, there's enough there to still get it plugged in, I believe. Yeah, these things are all bent. Oh man, I have nothing good going for me today. Oh, I think we got it. I think that's it. Power button's still working, so that's a good sign. Let that boot up again, and hopefully this mechanical drive I have is going to actually be detected. Okay, back here. English. Not looking good. Okay. Whew. There's our hard drive, and we want to erase. Extended journal, I guess. File system formatter failed. What? Are you kidding me? Maybe that's why. Try it again. Leopard. Apply. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Whew. All right. We are good there. Exit. There it is. Continue. Install. Installing. Yes. All right. I'm going to let this thing go. And then I'll turn the recording back on when it comes to a user input question or dialogue.